First of all, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. Second of all, what you look like kind of colors your perspective on the world, your outlook and your writing style. If you're a far right extremist, well, that's gonna be your bias. If you're a far left extremist, that's gonna be your bias. So this is a lady who wrote the article I read the other day about the Me Too movement with the Kick Vic stuff. I didn't look at her social media at the time or take a look at who wrote the article. I just read the article and commented on it. This is that writer of the article. Does she have a bias inherent in her writing? Just saying. This is a Bleeding Fool article that talks about the hit piece that she wrote, and it was a hit piece, as I'll show you in a photograph in a minute. Grisby goes on to correctly state that this is a case involving the heavily criticized Me Too movement for its affinity to, one, destroy careers first and ask questions later. What makes the case unusual in this era is that Vic is digging in and fighting back in court with a lawsuit. Yes, because he has so much public support that he's able to do that. The monsters who went after him were hoping to just destroy him, quietly get him out of the way, and probably take his position. Because Vic has support, he was able to raise, over $200,000 for a legal war chest. This last statement is partially true, as more people have been smeared in the wave of accusations are fighting back by exposing their accusers to little legal recourse. Furthermore, Grisby explains how it was tweets by animation and gaming aficionado Carolyn Saucedo, long-arm Mars girl, that accused Mignogna of great volumes of sexual misconduct and urged Funimation reconsider its hiring of him, had great impact on the narrative of the story. Her connections to the industry allowed for it to be shared so openly. Grisby conveniently does not mention how Ms. Saucedo, Mars Girl, was the creator of the KickVic hashtag, which unleashed the torrent Grisby mentioned earlier in her article and set into motion these events. So I wonder why Grisby left these things out. As far as hit pieces go, this one is missing the cool treatment that has contributed to the derailment of a few careers within the entertainment business. What's interesting for me is the use of some very specific terms like GoFundMe war chest. I want to see them ground into dust. And kissing children on the forehead or cheek is creepy. It doesn't take a rocket surgeon to link these statements to a single source, as he quoted throughout the article. If we assume that Sean Baton Death March Lamone is the masterpiece behind this publication, the next question should be, why use a specific author to pen this narrative? That's where we get into the journalistic integrity part of the question. This is not an article intended to inform the general public of an ongoing legal case. Instead, Grisby sold her integrity for a poorly researched hit piece intended to poison the well for future potential jurors. Except I don't think many people are reading her article. Once acclaimed a great editorial journalist for her coverage of the Baylor University sex scandal, blah, 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 shows us how far she has fallen. Her coverage is laden with adjectives designed to create an emotional response from the reader, guiding their outrage towards one source, and hopefully create a more robust narrative to make the women appear like victims. I see this picture. These two are dressed like adults, and then you see him shorts and a t-shirt. He has no fucks to give. He just doesn't care. I love that. Rekieta has given us ample entertainment while outlining the potential repercussions behind every decision being made by the plaintiff and defense, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're having the anti-slap hearing coming up in a week or two. Why would you use that as your profile picture? Does he think, oh, I look good? Anyway, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Sharon Grisby on Twitter, columnist for Dallas News. So she has 4,000 followers, so I'm guessing not a lot of people are reading her articles. Is she biased in her writing? Magic 8 Ball says yes. Promote the union. Esports. God, it's hard to attach. Oh, let's see. What's this article? A young mother with a newborn son, a retired couple visiting from Mexico, a teenager shopping with his beloved uncle. It's hard to read stories about the victims, but it's necessary to know exactly who we lost in the senseless shooting. Remember them in your prayers. The names of the people killed and injured in El Paso have come out slowly today. Yes, okay, there was a shooting. Some people died. Some people did some things. Or there are shootings in the inner cities every day. And reporters like Sharon Grisby don't say anything. Oh, what's this? Another article. This is not God's will. This is not God's ultimate dream for creation to have mass shootings over and over again. You know, in a country of 1/3 billion, these type of mass shootings are actually pretty rare. You know what kind of mass shootings we actually get day in, day out? Mass shootings in Chicago. Mass shootings in St. Louis. Mass shootings in any urban center. But the people doing the mass shootings are not people that Sharon Grisby feels comfortable discussing. They're doing them day in, day out. And does the media cover them? No. Why not? Why doesn't Sharon Grisby cover them? And then you come to this. This is the photo I think she used in her article. Yes, it is a photo she used in her article. Right off the bat, you're telling a biased story. The way they're posed, their eyes are glistening as if they just got done crying because the abuse was so horrific, alleged abuse. And then a video came out yesterday that shows her laughing and joking around with her the guy she accused of eating a jelly bean, I think is the worst thing he's accused of done. So this photo is poisoning the well right from the start. You're a reporter, you know this. This is garbage. You're innocent until proven guilty. Rekieta Law says, nice speech. Kind of looks like you got comments from Nick Rekieta. How is he to talk to? I corrected the sentence to attribute it to Mr. Mignogna, not you. Vic, who said in his deposition that he did not previously know Rekieta, also stated that it was Rekieta who suggested he hire Beard as his attorney. Do you want to comment? So she's getting a little bit of a ratio here, a little bit of pushback for her biased article. And you get some salty soy boys and soy girls in this article calling him the blackface lawyer. And then they say, you know, blackface lawyer has hours and hours of streams. Pretty sure we can find plenty of moments where he spoke up for Vic. Then why don't you go digging and prove us wrong since you're so confident? Of course, they never do. They never seem to come up with anything. And then Greg Douchebag is obsessed with Vic. And he posts and posts and posts and posts. I gotta agree with him that I do think those talent shows and beauty pageants, those are creepy. Well, talent shows, I guess, are okay. I don't know, it seems kind of silly. So I don't know why this guy is so heavily invested in the case, but he definitely is. He is coming hard. He definitely is a soy boy. I think a lot of these soy boys are kind of jealous of Vic, because Vic's, he's a guy living his own life. He's very much living his own life, having fun, going to conventions, getting laid, just having, living life to the fullest. And obese soy boys like Greg are not. Then Ms. Sky comes in. To whomever runs this social media, mute this thread for your sanity. It will fill up with victim-blaming trash in no time. Also, your reporter may be doxxed soon for sharing this story. Please take the necessary precautions. She's a public reporter with her name and face, her place of work on her Twitter. What more could you dox her? You could look up many town records. You could come up with her home number and her home address. She's a public figure. How do you dox a public figure? Okay, so there's talking about the kiwi farms. These people are just, This is based on so little. They keep saying Vic is such a monster. Reasonable people who don't know anything about the situation come onto Twitter and say, well, can you show us where he was a monster? You're talking about these conventions he goes to. Don't they have cameras in literally everyone's hand has a high definition camera? Well, yeah, yes, of course. So isn't it likely that when people were getting hugs and kisses from Vic that people filmed it? Well, yes, of course. So if something inappropriate happened, isn't it likely it'll be on film? Oh yeah. Well, this soy boy, who is an attorney and also an idiot. Believe it or not, there are a lot of stupid attorneys out there. This soy boy attorney comes in and makes little comments. And Rekieta comes back and says, out of curiosity, how many clients do you represent in court? And then Mr. Soyboy, who doesn't represent clients in court, dodges and deflects the answer. He's not a very interesting guy because he's an attorney who has 300 followers and kind of obsesses on things like niggling little lines of detail that mean nothing to anybody. Interesting way of saying I don't represent any clients. Yeah, if you don't represent clients, you don't really know what the push and pull of a legal system, the trial system is all about. I mean, you can be a lawyer and never step foot in a courtroom, but a trial attorney has an entirely different experience than, a research attorney or a document review attorney or mediation arbitration attorney, that kind of thing. All due respect, the article doesn't give a fair perspective of the trial, given what has been revealed so far in the lawsuit. Instead, it villainizes Vic's fan base and doesn't expose that the supporters of the defendants were just as feverish. Yes, why did Grisby portray things in such a certain light? No ad hominem, no ad hominem, no ad hominem. I won't attack the person, I will attack the argument. For instance, fake swattings, a fake convention bomb threat, convention vandalism, brigading to have people kicked off social media and their supporters, doxing a YouTuber with a newborn. That would be Tug. Hopefully, you will look at the released court documents, research the various comments on social media and YouTube that gains more insight into this trial. The people deserve to know both sides of the story. Yes, the Kick Vic crowd is very, very dirty. When you have the facts, you bang the facts. When you have the law, you bang the law. When you have neither, you bang the table. The media is Monica and Jamie's table. And now they're arguing about pulling hair, in which, from what I've heard, it was two people who work together have consent to touch each other for their relationship. So they comment on each other's hair and touch each other. And if you watch videos of the two of them together, she's all over him. I mean, I don't mean necessarily in a sexual way. I mean, they're very physically comfortable with each other. She's very, very physically comfortable touching him and vice versa. OMG, don't portray these two bitches as victims because they're not. These are the type of women that give, we'll call it a struggle snuggle, victims a bad name. These, because I can't say that other words on YouTube. These women are the reason actual victims can't have a voice because of fakes like them. Exactly. They're trying to get Vic fired, maybe to get his job, or maybe because they're jealous. I don't know. But they have very, very little evidence in a world where everyone has a high definition camera. My girl AJ comes in and says, how much do these two psychotic line snakes pay you for the article? Too much, especially since they haven't paid their lawyers yet. Gold-dicking bitches are way over their heads. And Mr. Soyboy Ben, he is suing them for money. No, he's suing them to save his reputation. He's suing them for defamation. They made defamatory statements of fact that injurious falsehoods to his reputation. They called him horrible, horrible things. They accused him of things he clearly hasn't done. Someone comes in later and says the Beta White Knights are friendly reminder that one of the accusations involved him eating a jelly bean. Exactly. These two people or these three people, had a friendly relationship, and it was a friendly relationship in an industry. They weren't working in a law office. They're voice actors. It's a very kind of touchy-feely, fruity, kind of huggy kind of thing. They go to these conventions and everyone's hugging and kissing on the cheek. And in fact, there were photos of the women kissing. There are people coming to get autographs and stuff. Though, why you would want an autograph from a voice actor for a cartoon, I don't know. Why you would pay $40 for an autograph for a cartoon voice actor is completely beyond me. If I was a kid, I would spend that $40 on an eighth of weed. That would probably be money well spent. Have some fun with your friends. Not get an autograph. Very, very bizarre thinking to me. But I don't understand the whole looking at actors and musicians. Like, I like the art. I don't want to know too much about the artists, because most of the time they're just kind of idiots who make great art. Imagine thinking that eating a jelly bean is sexual assault. That's an incredible misrepresentation of the event, as it is noticeably sexual in nature. Talking about eating the jelly bean. Eating the jelly bean is noticeably sexual in nature. Why? Because it's like the size of a clitoris? Is that what you're saying? Not what got him, just one act and a mountain of stupidity and grossness on his part. My God, give me another soy latte. I'm running low. My breasts are starting to shrink. Listen, eat your vegetables. You need to start eating vegetables. Go jogging. Take your protein powder. And maybe lift a few weights. Do some squats. Go bench press. Do a little bent over rows. Some shadow boxing. Do a little wrestling. You got to stop with this soy. This is not this soy outrage. This white knight. Jesus effing crimines. Look at all the beta male orbiters come swooping in. Yes. Stop being soy boys. Here's the thing I noticed about Kick Vic people. A lot of them are either obese, or if they're skinny fat, which means, say they may weigh 160 pounds, but they weigh 160 pounds with a high body fat percentage. Skinny fat. They are not tall, smiling, handsome, clean clothes, clean fingernails, hair combed, confident, smiling, putting themselves out there. These are people who are, video game playing basement dwellers. Not that video games are bad, but you got to get outdoors. You have to play basketball. You have to play soccer. You have to go hiking. You have to go jogging. A lot of these Kick Vickers are just incessantly on their cell phones, on their Twitter, nonstop, and they're drinking their Mountain Dew and eating poison, and they're fat, and they're like in their teens or their 20s, and they're obese. Listen, when you're in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, you should be eating well. You should be lean and active. Put your cell phone down, or get rid of your smartphone and get a flip phone. Yes, I know that sounds completely insane. And you need to get outside and start exercising. Throw away the Mountain Dew, throw away the potato chips, or throw away the beer and the weed. If you're smoking too much weed and drinking too much beer, it's time to put it down. Turn off the Xbox, or heaven forbid, sell it. Get some vegetables, put some vegetables every day in a blender with some protein powder. Start drinking that and get outside. So when he's talking about beta orbiters and gammas and all that kind of horse shit, yeah, that's all, the dogs and the wolf theory. Yeah, a lot of that's horse stuff, but a lot of it is also true that these guys who are Kick Vickers, no, they don't have girlfriends. No, they're not getting laid. And to be fair, the girls are also incels, because people don't want to have sex with fat chicks. People have sex with fat chicks a little bit more than they'll have sex with fat dudes, but really, these people, these Kick Vickers, they're not really in desire. They're not desirable people. They're not getting invited to dances. They're not being picked for sports teams. To be fair, they're not playing any sports teams. But your perspective on your world can change if you get off the couch, put down the Xbox and the smartphone, and start eating right and exercising. Suddenly, what happens is people start smiling at you more. They start talking to you more, and you'll start smiling at them. You'll start engaging with people instead of being these Kick Vickers and the Trump derangement people. They're bitter, angry people, and they don't have friends. They have allies, and they're terrified of being on the outside of the crowd. So they say, when they come to an issue, they'll say, what do we feel about this? What's our consensus about this? Well, people on the right will say, hey, get fucked. I feel this way. And another guy on the right will say, oh, I feel this way. Well, you're wrong. Well, we agree, we disagree, we agree to disagree. But we're not afraid to voice our opinions because we're not going to be called Germans of the 1930s if we disagree. If you're on the left and you disagree, all of a sudden they'll cancel you and you're a garbage person. And you were always a garbage person. Like, hey, I voted for Bernie. I voted for Obama. I'm a Bernie supporter. I'm a gay, transsexual, lesbian, but I just don't think that, kids should be transitioning under 18. I don't think we should give kids hormone blockers. Well, you're canceled. You're a garbage person. You're literally a fascist. I just don't think we should give kids. Oh, you're canceled. You're done. You're done. You're over. And all this is coming to a head, and we'll see where it takes us. Here's what I was talking about. If I'm not mistaken, it was included in the court documents by Jamie Marchi. Yes, I want his head. I want his balls. I want him to feel an ounce of the pain he's caused others and then fucking choke on it. I want you to take his dick out of your ears so you can actually hear reality, but that's just me. This is the girl who was... There's video of her smiling and laughing with Vic. After these alleged events go on, there's pictures of her smiling and laughing with Vic. Obviously, it's horseshit. It didn't happen. You want his job, you're jealous. You're trying to get someone out of the industry. That makes you a horrible, horrible person. Vic sounds like... Admittedly, he goes to these conventions, sounds like a prima donna. Sounds like a pain in the ass. That doesn't give you the right to call him a monster, to accuse him of the things you're accusing him of. Apparently he goes to these conventions, he's in high demand. He talks to roomfuls of kids because they want to hear him talk. There's huge lines for him, and these other actors do not get that kind of attention. Well, in every industry, there's going to be a star, and there's going to be the A star, and there's going to be the B stars, and you girls are the B stars, and that's fine. You've got to work with what you're given. Anyway, a lot of this is sour grapes. So she got a little bit of ratio in this tweet, and a lot of just soy boys just trying to sniff some panties is what it feels like. They're just the most pathetic people. Yeah, she's dancing with them after these events allegedly happen. She's all over him. It's just bizarre. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next episode.